Welcome back to the channel, guys, where we are going to answer some of the big questions like why am I standing in the middle of this big wet patch in the middle of winter, and why in this next photo my hands look like I've just bought the worst one-ply toilet paper in human history.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that?
So where does this leave little Morris build? Well, at the end of the last video, we got it running, we got it driving. It was only a couple of meters, but we still got it driving. No brakes. No brakes. I'll take that as a win. The system had no water, no coolant, no nothing in it. It had been drained many years ago, so I just used straight water. What I didn't realise was that a sludge had built up in all of these little flutes along the cooling system. You've got a little one here up top, big one down the bottom. These run a thermosiphon cooling system. What that means, there's no water pump. The hotter the engine gets, the more it has to circulate, and it needs to be hot in order to circulate. Because there's no water, coolant, no liquid sitting in the cooling system at all that sludge has settled into the bottom of this. Behind the scenes, I thought I'd do a coolant swap. I'd drop all the old water, put some proper coolant back into it, and that is how we have ended up in this mess. We're going to use some of this magic blue liquid and a heap of penetrating oil. I've just put that radiator flush into the system. I've topped it up with distilled water. We're going to do one of two jobs. This car needs a serious service, so the radiator flush needs roughly 7 to 10 minutes in order to filter through and do its thing. However, being a thermosiphon system, it's going to take a lot longer for that to actually get up to temperature. 20 minutes or so, just let the engine get nice and hot, and in doing that, that's also going to warm up the engine oil. While we're waiting for the radiator to cool down, we can keep servicing the rest of the car. Now, because the oil sat around in this little guy for so long, I've got a couple of options of what I can do in the way of doing a change safely. I go through and put an oil flush through it. The downside is, because that is so abrasive and so aggressive, it will go through the system and clean up everything. It's going to do a great job of getting it out. But any sludge that's caught in the bottom of it, it's going to dislodge it, and I run the risk of that actually going up and through the oil galleries. Next option is to just do a regular oil change. Clean filter, clean oil. A lot of the oils nowadays have a degreasing agent in them, so even the cheap nasty stuff will go through and start gently cleaning and getting all that sludge out. Now, I don't care what the manual says. I don't care what previous owners say. I've always been taught you never ever put clean oil in an engine without changing the filter. The filter's there to do a job. Let's start doing this job. That's another one I hate. Ugh. I hate using shifters and not the right sockets. That's one for the shopping list.
I got my head in the clouds so high, feet on the ground, but I still get by. The rules were made for someone else to try, but not me.
That has been in there for a while. Look at the colour of that oil. Going through the back of the car, I managed to find two old oil filters, which, if you have a look at these, old Ryco one, R2053P, back in 1999. 2053V. Now, what's the difference between the two? The original oil filter that came out in these little side valves were these guys. Stay. Little old cotton filter. What they went to later on were these. Ones that we sort of know today. That one's been used, obviously. So what was put into this one? Let's have a look. There's a new style filter.
Do you hear that? My sanity about to break while everyone I know is out. On a trip, on a boat, on a lake. I'm tired of feeling on FOMO. Babe, I don't even care if we stay home. Put our to-do list on ice.
But there's no markings on it.
And make a little island right here. And there ain't a palm tree inside.
So I think we can see the clear progression. First, second, third. And what did I go with? And what did I put in it? 2053p. Just going back to that.
Paradise is wherever we make it. Till the sun's up Monday. We'll tell our phones, do not disturb. I got my straw.
So because this is a canister filter, we're going to fill it up with some oil first. That way, as the engine's trying to turn over, it's going to start pulling from the filter up into the top of the head, and all the rest of the clean stuff can start coming through the oil galleries and back into the filter. That way the engine's not essentially starting dry.
Ain't a palm tree inside, but there's not a cloud in your blue eyes. If we need a drink, I'll be the bartender. I got a fifth of Patron and a blender. Baby, slipping on a swimsuit is overrated. We don't need a beach to get a half naked. Life's too short, let's not waste it, 'cause paradise.
Got a bit overzealous, was about to start filling up. Forgot the drain plug. Whoops.
Make it. Oh, this view of you, it's got everything I need. Yeah, the rooms, they're cheap. And if we don't want to, we don't ever.
Just above the low mark. So now let's move on to the electricals. Surely this cannot be this easy of a fix. So here is my horn. That's just floating. We'll do it up, see if it works. So let's give it a try. Ugh. That is really dark. Not the best light, but we'll make it work. Contacts, maybe? Contacts are clean. Plate looks clean too. Can't see why not. I don't know. Alright, so I've gone through and done a little bit of fettling. I think there's just quite a bit of oxidization on the wiring itself, but that has just been snugged back into place. We'll come around the other side of the car. Window down. I think that sounds like a result. Okay, so next we're going to look at these trafficators. They're old, they're aged, we can replace them or repair them. I would rather repair them purely for the fact that they came with the car and it's easy to do, it's the same price. So, because what they're doing at the moment, that's as far as they pop out. And that is it. 2 trafficators out, ready to be posted up, and off you get rebuilt. Alright, it's been a few hours, so the little Morris's had a chance to cool down. We're going to drop the coolant out of it, but while rummaging around the back of the car, managed to find this. For those of you playing at home, that is the original servicing tool. That end is for your sump bolt. That end is going to be for your oil filter. So luckily this little motor is never going to see a shifter ever again. Alright, that water is still definitely quite a bit rusty, and we are still getting some more of that stuff, that clay based whatever it is coming out of it. So if you want to keep an eye on the channel, check out the progress the little guy's making before his big trip down to Victoria. In the upcoming episodes I've got some more parts coming just to refurb some old stuff and hopefully get his trafficators back in time, as well as a big ticket item that's going to facelift the entire car. If you like what you're seeing, like, subscribe, hit that alert button so you can keep up to date with what's going on, and I'll see you in the next episode.